So are you struggling with getting started? How to start, when to start, how to do? Are you struggling with everything that has to do with starting, working out? We're talking about starting to work out. I'm gonna show you my experience. I'm gonna tell you my experience, how to get started. Boom! What's up, YouTube? Albert Silva represent the Son of What's up, guys? Y'all saw the buffer, man. I'm gonna tell you guys what's up when it comes to getting started, man. Because a year ago, I was in that situation right there. A year ago, yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year since I got started. It's taken me a year to look like this. A whole year to look like. Look at the traps, man. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, man. When I first was thinking about working out, when I finally, because you know, I took 7 years off. I was looking pretty decent. I put up a picture. I was looking pretty good. A 290, looking like a solid rock, man. And then obviously my little boy was, he was found out that he was autistic, right? He was diagnosed as autistic, and I stopped everything. My whole life completely stopped just to try to help him with his diagnosis and help everybody. And it was a labor-intensive, hands-on intensive situation. For the last 5-6 years, we were doing nothing but trying to help him out and show him and teach him how to deal with it, as well as us. Because you know, when you're dealing with autism, it takes the whole family, not just him. So when we all finally got to the point where I can kind of step away, because for a while there, it was 5 hours a day of therapy, 5-6 hours a day of therapy, 6 days a week, hands-on therapy. Like, you're there with the therapist, helping you, helping him, helping us. So it's a very intrusive therapy, very intrusive. And for 5-6 years, it was hands-on, so we couldn't do anything. We were just there. But I knew that once he got better, if he got better, I was gonna go back to working out, because that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. I pump iron. So finally, it came to a point where he could do without us there on a daily basis, you know? So it finally got to the point, and then when it finally came to the point, it took me a while. I mean, because your mentality, your mind is so screwed up. It's so over here, and you need to be right here to start working out. You can't be over there. You need to be right here. You need to be all in right here, centered. That's where you need to be. And to get centered, to get to that point where you're going to actually start, it takes a lot of mental preparation. It takes a lot of physical preparation, but it takes a lot of mental obstacles to overcome. You just can't start working out from one day to another. You can and you can't, right? But you got to get that mindset right. You got to make sure that mentally you can actually think about, fathom the point of working out. Like, you know, if the mind can think it, then the body can achieve it, right? That's what everybody says. So for me, it was months and months and months of like, man, really like nitpicking. I work this much, I do this much here. I was blocking my time, I was blocking my schedule. Like, okay, so if I'm gonna work out 2 hours a day, where am I gonna fit it? As it is, I was working like I work now. I was working like a 16-hour day, like I do now. I work a 16-hour day, and at that time, I couldn't fathom working out 2 hours out of the day, because working and coming home and taking care of Liam and doing all this stuff, it was already a full schedule, and it was too much for us to bear. It was too much. So I said, how am I gonna add a 2-hour block of pumping iron on top of that? I mean, not even thinking about the food prep and all that, but I knew all that stuff was included. So just because you work out for 2 hours, you don't walk away from the 2-hour session and going, that's it, I'm done. No. Now you're talking about post-meal, food prep, preparation for tomorrow. There's just a whole bunch of things that entails when it comes to working out. So it's just not like, I'm gonna go 2 hours and then I'm gonna disappear. I'm gonna go, then I'm gonna look like this 2 months later. There's no such thing. It's a whole thing. It's a whole ecosystem that you gotta do. It's just not pumping iron. That's just a small point, a small part of the equation. Working out. Then you still got the other stuff, the rest, recuperation, the feeding, the eating, all of all of that. It's all an ecosystem that turns the muscle, turns the wheel of muscle, right? So, man, and so, you know, finally, when I got my mind straight and I said, you know what, I'm gonna start working out. It took me a while, but every day I would think about it. It's like, man, I gotta get this thing up and going, because I got to get back to where I was. And finally, guys, I just said, that's it, that's enough, because weeks were going by, months were going by, and still nothing, still sitting there thinking about it. I gotta get started, I gotta start, but I don't know if I can fit it in my schedule. I don't know if I can do it. I really don't want to commit. If I'm not gonna commit, I can't start, and then I do, you know what, I can't do it 100%. If I can't do it 100%, I'm not gonna do it. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna put all that stuff away, and I'm just gonna get started. And when I started, if you go back to my Instagram, you can go back to my YouTube videos. When I first started, man, after 7 years of nothing, it was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. There was days where I was like, I can't do this. I just can't do it. Not because of the scheduling. It was the actual workout. It was just like, ooh, wake up the next day, you're like this, I can't move. Like, how am I gonna work out today if I can't even move, right? So it was that difficult. But I finally said, you know what? And I was kind of doing this, I was kind of going up and down, missing workouts, working out, missing workout. And I was kind of doing this until I finally said, you know what? The hell with this. You want this body that you had, if not better, you're gonna have to commit and you're gonna have to do it. So I started little by little. Like when I mean little by little, I'm thinking about a 30-minute walk, a 2-mile walk, and then turned into a 3-mile walk. Then, after a while, it turns into a jog. And then it turns into a straight up sprint. That's how you start. You start as little as you can. If you can just get out of your seat and sit back down, sit down and stand up, sit down and stand up 10 times a day, that's how you start. And you stay consistent. You do it every day. Well, it doesn't matter what it is. You stay consistent and you do it every day. Next thing you know, you'll be able to take a couple of steps further. You'll be able to take a little lunge, a little hop, a little jump. Next thing you know, you're running. And then you'll be like this, oh, a couple months ago, I couldn't even stand up. Now I'm running. Now I'm jogging. So, and that's how it starts, man. Once you decide to make that first jump, that initial jump, that is the hardest move to do when it comes to fitness, is that first jump. When you do that first jump and you commit to it mentally, and then the physical comes in, you're in. You're in. Ball game. Boom, you're playing. You're in a ball game. So it took me a year to get to where I'm at. A year of working out to get to where I'm at. You look at me and you go like this, that's a sexy brother right there. Well, yeah, you're right. 100%. You are right. But it's taken me a year to get to where I'm at. And I still got a lot of fat, man. This is a sexy brother right there. But I still got a long way to go, guys. I still have a long way to go. But to think about the fact that it's taken me a year to get to where I'm at now, I reflect and I'm proud and I'm happy that I've actually stuck with this for a whole year, an entire year. Mind you, sometimes I don't be sleeping very much. Sometimes I'm sleeping like this. I'm standing up and I'm sleeping, Sometimes I just do that. I mean, you got to catch sleep when you can. But unfortunately, I don't have that kind of job to where I can go home in 6 hours and make $200,000 a year. I'm not that lucky. If you're that lucky, hook a brother up with a job. But anyway, this is what I do, man. I work long hours, and sometimes I just doze out. Like last time I was making a YouTube video, and I was talking, and I was... and I woke up and the video was still on. And I was like, oh, hey, what was I talking about? Let's go pump some iron, man. And it's like, but anyway, guys, that first initial jump is the hardest to do. But once you get past that first little hurdle, which is the biggest hurdle, because from nothing to moving, it's the laws of physics, guys. When something is moving, what does that thing say? When something is moving, it just keeps moving and it keeps rolling. It's the law of physics. But to get it moving, it's gonna take so much work. But when something is moving, when something's in motion, it stays in motion. Laws of physics, man. Now, a year later, I couldn't imagine stopping. I won't stop. I can't stop because I see all these gains. And mind you, it's not a lot of gains, but it's a lot more than I had last year. I'll tell you that. So just in that right there, just in the fact that I'm making a YouTube video about gains, shows you that I've been putting in the work. And it shows you that I'm going to continue to put the work, man. So I'm telling you, man, the first hurdle is the biggest hurdle. And once you get past the biggest hurdle, once you get that ball into motion, it's going to most likely stay in motion because that's just the law of physics. Don't tell me nothing. That's the law of physics. What is in motion stays in motion. Talk to him. Don't talk to me. I didn't make the rule up, man. I'm just telling you what the law is of physics, man. Not a physics major. Not a muscle major. But I got major muscle. Oh, Melbourne Silver representing. Just to know what shot.